because it's all about me following what you do, right? I'm going to duplicate your activity. And just by the very nature of that, you are becoming a leader. So what do we mean by becoming a leader? First of all, you lead by example, and we just talked about. Secondly, you're going to be focusing on helping people achieve their goals. Third, you're going to listen to 10 minutes, some good audio, and you're going to read a book. How many of you still love engaging with personal development? Pass up your hands and really shoot up right away. Has it been life-changing for you to really make a commitment to that? Yeah? Do you want to share? Come up and share with us why that was important to you. Sure. You were like, yeah, so I'm going to hear. We got a microphone right here. Share with them what that does for you.
Voice of God. Listening to them when instead of reading a bunch of junk, I've been trying to read the book Crush by Anderson. It's check. So Crush, that's what I've been reading off and on, and Think and Grow Rich. So a combination of those two books has helped me to be more focused on my business and be a focus on what it's going to take to get to a next level of Team Beachbody. Also on a fitness boot camp. It's helped my business to grow by being a Team Beachbody person, personal trainer, / everything else. So I think reading and listening to various CDs in the car instead of listening to music all the time has helped as well. So I just encourage everybody to find something they enjoy reading and get into it and really discover how it's going to help you go to the next level. Really.
Awesome. Thank you very much. How many of you do a vision board? Oh, wow, vision board. Good for you. Fantastic. Aren't they cool? Vision boards are really cool, aren't they? I love them. I love vision boards. My daughter, I'm at a mentoring group, women's mentoring group that I started in 1998. And it was so funny because my daughter was just graduating from college, she was thinking about getting married, and she was part of the mentoring group of ladies. We had about 3 groups of 10 ladies, and we were doing our vision board. And then about 10 years after she'd been married, she was so funny, they moved to a new house, and she goes, "Mother, you are not going to believe this." I said, "What?" She drug out, she was stuck in the closet later somewhere. She drug out this vision board that we worked on in this mentoring group. And she said, "Look at this." And she had put on there before she got married the living room set that she wanted to have. And it was sitting in her living room. Oh, yeah. She had put on there a picture of a kitchen she wanted to have with the appliances, and they were all in there. And she just said, "Mom, this didn't work, this works." And it does work. But if you have never engaged in this exercise or activity, I want to strongly encourage you to do that. You know what? It's a great fun exercise for you with you and your team. To say, we're getting together next Saturday, we're all coming on over to the house, I got 10 magazines, we are setting up, and we are making vision boards. Or you put it in a book. Either put them on a big, poster, or put it inside a book, do something with it, but make sure that you have something that has a visual of your dreams. Paul Meyer is another really good personal development individual in his writing. But what you'll find, and I studied under Paul before he passed away down in Texas, he's out of Waco, Texas. Don't love this man, he's some of his stuff which is extremely profound. Very similar to the type of teachings that you find in Rig Ziegler. But he really was a great study in human nature as it relates to how the mind works when the mind begins to have a vision. How many of you ever heard of the description, "In my mind's eye, I can see it"? Yeah. Have you ever relate to that, right? In my mind's eye, I can see it. It's not here yet. It's not my reality yet. But in my mind's eye, I can see it. I can see it. Wow. It's got this color to it, and it's vivid, and it's fast, and I can measure it, right? That's what vision does. Vision boards help you. And you know what they do is they begin to work on you. They begin to, the mind just almost can't help itself but gravitate to go do whatever it takes to achieve that vision. So your vision boards really are important. Make sure that they're not pretend, like, oh, long. Make sure it's something that's really coming from your gut or your heart, that's real, it's really the real deal, something that's really, really important to me. You will be surprised how fast these things will begin to come into your life. And they are a great exercise to do in the meeting. So if you haven't already done one, you guys have some Super Saturday is coming up. Let that be something you do. You know, take an hour out and just say, hey, we're just going to go crazy. Set up a few tables, put a bunch of magazines out, and have fun doing it, and then celebrate. Watch how fast those things come into being. They will come into being. I'm going to share a real quick story because I've got a little bit extra time here. Where was I? Off campus. I was living in Olathe, Kansas. I started to put on some weight. I was in my 30s, and I decided to start running. So, I thought it was a really big deal when I ran my first mile. I ran a whole mile. I was so pleased with myself. And then I challenged myself to run 2 miles. Because I thought if I could run 1 mile, maybe I could run 2 miles. So I got out and I got up a little bit earlier in the morning for work, and I ran and got to the point where I could run 2 miles. It was hard at first, but I got there. And then I got cocky and I thought, oh, I could do 2. Maybe I could do 3, right? Nobody was telling me I could. So I decided I got 3 miles. And when I ran 3 was hard for me. It took the timeline that fit real well with what I need to do for my schedule. So I just got a very consistent habit. Every morning I'd get up, run my 3 miles, come back, shower, get ready to go to work. And it did help with my weight. I had some activity going on. I got promoted from Kansas City to Chicago, and the gentleman who came out to be my new boss to work with me in Chicago came from Boston. He had run the Boston Marathon 10 times. So we both flew in together in Chicago, the Marriott Schaumburg Hotel, and we got there at the same time. We had dinner together that night, and he said, "So Denise, I hear you're a runner." No, I'm not a runner. He said, "Well, that's not what I hear." I said, no, I'm not a runner. He said, "Well, you do run, don't you?" I said, "Well, I just, I get up in the morning. I run 3 miles." He goes, "Good. Meet me downstairs at 6 a.m. We're going running together." Now, why did that just about scare the bejesus out of me? Because he was 6'4" and I'm 5'4". He was not the boss. He was a Boston marathoner. I was doomed. Okay. I didn't sleep all night. All I could think was, oh my God. I got to trust this new guy. He's going to be my new boss. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be just scared. And I was truly scared. Next morning I got up and bed down there and I thought, and I'll understand Chicago in January. So it's not like it was warm stuff. So we bundled up, and right across from the Schaumburg Hotel there at the Marriott was this big park. So he had this little black thing going on, and off we go, And so we're running, and we're talking, and we're running, and we're talking, and we're running, and we're talking. And we get back to the hotel, coming out because it's so cold. And he goes, "So, what's your name?" I said, "Wow, yeah, that's pretty good." He goes, "Yeah, so I think so." He said, "How far did you just run?" I go, "Oh, I don't know, 3 miles." He said, "No, you didn't." He said, "No, you just ran 6 miles."
Oh, yeah.
No, he said, "Yes, you did." I said, "No, I didn't. I can't run 6 miles." He said, "Denise, you just ran 6 miles." I said, "Ed, I can't run 6 miles." And he said, "How long is this going to go on?" "You just ran 6 miles." And I remember standing there going, oh my God. I didn't know I could run 6 miles. I never believed in a million years I could run 6 miles. And I had such an epiphany at that moment because what I realized is the only person who was holding me back from doing things was me. And what I was willing to believe I could do. Is that pretty powerful for you? The only one who holds us back with us, right? So dream big. When you're doing your vision board, don't hold back. Because you're thinking, I don't know if I could really do that, or do I really deserve it? Don't hold back. Go for it. And you will be so surprised. I ran my first marathon in LA in 1989. My daughter loves it when I tell that story. All right, so the main function of leaders is to create other leaders. That's what we do. I love this quote. It's a beautiful quote. And we do that because we lead by example, by the things that we do, by what people duplicate after what we do. So, let's watch this. Danny, start over. It's in my computer? Yes, it is. I'm going to back it up, okay, so they can see what it is. You like that? I love that. First time I saw that, I just laughed so hard. Because every time I go, I was like, dang, this is like, well, right? It's the same old guy, following. And then when he quit, what happened? It all just went downhill. See, you're wondering why your team's in business when they do that. When they do this, when they do that, what are you doing? Are you checking in and then checking out? As a leader, stay checked in. They look to you. They look for that consistency. So, becoming a leader. For individual leadership, first of all, you have to learn to lead yourself. All right? Set your own goals. Begin to figure out from a time standpoint your schedule, how this can work for you. Everybody's schedules are different. Everybody has time commitments, whether it's family, jobs. You know, there's all sorts of things that are going on in your life that time commitment is an issue. When you sit down and you're thinking about it for yourself, which will help you be able to be more effective with others, look at that entire calendar and see where that block of time is. And then stay committed to it. Call it beach body. Put it on your calendar to beach body. Nobody else gets that time except beach body. And so let's say it's 7 o'clock at night, or no, let's go to 8 o'clock at night. The kids have been put off to bed. All right? I know Bible comes on sometimes today. You can record Bible. And watch it at 3 in the morning if you have to know that. So, but your beach time, let's say you've decided that the block of time that you can devote to this business to do some of the things you need to do is from 8 to 9 o'clock. Call it your beach body time. You're going to do your follow-up calls. You're going to talk to some of your team members. You're going to do some of those get started right introduced. And that's your beach body time. Those are those activities that you're going to put right in that little window that's going to work. And you're going to do those 2 people a day, right? While you're out and about. Or maybe when you get home, you use social media to do that with. That's 24/7. You can do that when you wake up early in the morning. Do it when you get home late at night. But whatever that is, you're still staying committed to those 2. Look at your calendar and be real with yourself. Make sure you include all the stuff in there that you have to do. Take the kids to soccer and little league, whatever that is. All right, get that in your calendar first. And then look for those gaps in there where you can feed in the consistency on a daily basis of your beach body business. Some days it might be 15 minutes, but you just all you need to do is stop it, right? Is that fair? If it's only 15, okay. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's an hour 15, but make it a scheduled time on your calendar. Stay committed to it. That's the sign of leadership. A leadership person will go, that's my beach body time. And when people interrupt that, when the family comes in, right? And your husband or wife comes in, you're like, you know, honey, I love you and everything, but this is my beach body time. It's the only time I'm going to do this. And you know we got goals together for this. Love you, bye. Right? Talk to me. See you in an hour. But you know what? Your spouse and your family will expect that, especially when they see the results that you're going to be able to produce, and you stay committed to that little bit of consistent activity. Wait till you see what happens after just a little bit of consistent activity. You're going to be so surprised. This is a great John C. Maxwell quote. The organization you lead will never rise above your responsibility. Doesn't it hurt sometimes? It does, doesn't it? Come on, it really does. Sometimes you're wondering why Why does your team late all the time? Why does your team never show up on? Why? What are you doing? What are you showing your team? Always look in the mirror. Be a great example. People will do what you do. So when you're looking for those to be a good leader, really be honest with yourself and examine your mistakes, and then begin to step up and make that commitment. You know, one of the things I heard a really great coach that called me on a couple of weeks ago is we talked about leadership here at BC, and she called. She said, "You know what, man, I was so convicted when I got to this particular part of the presentation because I really realized how much I did let my team down. I mean, I was really basically kidding myself. So you know what I did? I called each one of my team members and I just said, you know, I really realized when I became plan at BC that I just really wasn't doing what I should do, and I want to apologize and I want to ask if you'll just give me another chance, because I really want to step up now, and I want to be the coach I should be for you." And she said, "Man, my team," you know, like, sure. They celebrate that. There's a couple of people that have some sensitivities, and they got over that too. So, you know what? You can always mend bridges. You can always get back on track. You can always bring that team on board with you. So even if you haven't been doing it consistently up to this point, there's nothing like the presence to start it, okay? Group leadership, lead by example. Exercise that integrity every moment that you have a choice. I'm a present thought here because, you know, we all face decisions in our life sometimes where we can fudge, or we can do something not quite on track. But at the end of the day, the integrity will always show you through. So sometimes you have to make the tough decisions, sometimes you have to say the tough things. But as long as it's about integrity, and it's about honesty, and it's about truthfulness, the amount of respect that you will gain from your team is immeasurable. I had a lady who went into surgery as a coach. She was out for almost 8 weeks, just could not do her business. But you know who did her business for her? Her team. Her team kept her right. Her team made sure those checks were coming in to support her family. Her team loved her, and her team respected her. And they worked hard to fill the gap for her until she was back on her feet. That's the kind of team environment you want to have. You for them, them for you, okay? And celebrate these successes. Always be great about complimenting, celebrating, encouraging, recognizing everybody who's doing a great thing, no matter what it is. Just make sure they know that you notice and that they're important to you. So apply these laws of duplication. We talked about it earlier. Be someone who's willing to learn, and then go out and do that. As you go out and do it, you're going to find that you're going to be able to teach it to your coaches, and they will repeat what you do. So this learn, do, teach, repeat is really the business. It's the activity, the actions that happen. So become really good at these fundamentals. Make sure that you become the master of these fundamentals and follow this system. You know, in this business, a lot of times we have people who are, I don't want to say the other word. I don't want to say dabblers. There are people who've made up their mind that this is really a business to them, and there's other people who have made up their mind that it's, draw a line to where I want to say like a hobby or something. You know, oh yeah, I know because they do it, but I don't know. So it's kind of fun, and I'm sort of in, and I'm not sort of in. You know, you will attract exactly who and what you are. So if you're a hobbyist, you're going to have a lot of hobbyists on your team. If you're really committed to helping people and building a business, you can go out and help more people. And realize that this is a business. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this, but we will this year recognize 10 individuals who have become millionaires with each side. Millionaires. Helping people. 10 people who have helped people for the last 3 to 4 years are now millionaires. And I can tell you, every one of them are not about the money. This money came as a result of them helping people. And as a result of that, they're helping more people. And they're reaching out to their communities, and they're doing some pretty phenomenal things in these communities, both here in the United States and across other countries, because they're very philanthropic, some of them. So just know that there's a great opportunity here to be had. It is a business. It's a very serious business. And it's backed by a $400 million 12-year-old company. This is not a startup company. This is a, this is a 12-year-old company. How many $400 million. Do you know that we went from 200 employees to 500 employees last year just to keep up with our growth? This is a growing, thriving, dynamic beachbody business that you guys are part of. So I want you to feel confident. I want you to feel like the amount of effort and support and everything that you're putting into this thing is here. This is a long-term company. And it's not being run by a bunch of financial analysts. It's being run by a man, a gentleman, who has a sincere passion to achieve this vision of ending obesity and this trend in America. So feel solid. You feel really core that you're solid, that if you're working towards whatever those goals are, that it's not, the rug is not going to be pulled out from underneath of you. This is a really solid company. So help others do what you do. Work with those that have a why and who are coachable. You can't drag people into this system. It's a waste of your time. Haven't had anybody else try to drag? Yeah. I'm just so good for you. Come on! Right? I don't understand why you think I'm get it. Oh, come on! It's not giving her time. Don't try. When they're ready, they're ready. You want to work with people who are ready, right? You want ready people. Maybe that could be what your little thing is. Pat, I'm Denise, and I'm looking for people who are ready. Yeah. Are you ready? Cool, come on, I'm ready. Doesn't that feel good? Put a smile on my face. Pat, work with people who are ready. They're coachable. They're going to want to follow you. They're going to do whatever it is. They're going to follow the system. And that's one of the key last points I want to say. I worked for a company called Arbonne, and that was really what got me into direct sales, for those of you who don't know that. When I started with Arbonne, they were a little over a $20 million company. I actually started in the field first and developed my own team, and then got brought into corporate as a result of some of the things I was able to do in growing the team very fast. And the reason that occurred is because I had a clear understanding of how to help convey the message to help people. And as I did that, and they started duplicating what I did, my team grew really fast. So when I went into corporate, they did not have tools, and they did not have training, and I had just graduated from Pepperdine University. My major was in organizational development. What I fell in love with about that was it was about helping to develop people. So I had a passion for that already when I got introduced to Arbonne. I was actually running my own business at the time. When I went into Arbonne, I want to share this story so you can see how incrementally fast this can grow, is we had a great product. Once we got the tools, and once we got the training all in place, and once we had a compensation plan that rewarded it appropriately, that $20 to $30 million company the next year became a $56 million company. And the following year, $126 million. And then $250 million. And the $580 million. This is year over year over year, until it became nearly $1 billion company. So why does it grow so fast? How many of you have ever read The Tipping Point? Do you remember the hush puppy story? The hush puppy story. Anybody know what hush puppies are? You know what hush puppy story is. Hush puppies, baby. How many of those furry shoes? No, that's for the movement too. No, not that food. The shoes. Okay, but how many of you know about the hush puppy shoes? All right, see, look at that. You have like the Nordstrom in your course that don't look in with. All right, the hush puppy shoes was just about to go belly up and bankrupt, right? I mean, they sold 30,000 shoes back in the 80s. They're getting ready to close their doors. And some high-loose guy, artsy, oops, I can't say the other word, guy, in New York City, goes to this exclusive event, and he digs in the back of his closet, and he puts his hush puppy shoes on, all right, and goes to this event. And everybody's like, wait for the shoes, checking out his shoes, must be cool shoes. The very next day, everybody that was at that party in Manhattan, New York, they're on the phone, calling all over, trying to buy hush puppy shoes, right? Because they have to be just like him. And so, all over America, the word went out. Hush puppy shoes, I wear them so forward, and do anything. That year, hush puppies companies went from 30,000 shoes to 400 million shoes, not just $1 advertising. And that's what we do. That's why we will end the trend of America, in this obesity trend of America, because of our word of mouth. People talking to people, talking to people, talking to people. So when you hear Carl say we will do it because we have the best vehicles in the world to do it. And I got to tell you, it means a whole lot more than hush puppy shoes. Don't you agree? So we've got the why, we've got the coaches, we've got the way to do it. We're going to do it with great intent and with great integrity. So as you take action over this next few weeks, after being here today on game plan, here's some of the things I want you to take a look at. Are you consistently improving as a leader? So I want you to internally look at your leadership skills and your abilities. Note down, here's a good thing to do. Really good exercise is write down your 3 strengths and your 3 weaknesses. You can kind of get a picture of what you do well and what you want to work on this year, and set that as a goal. Look for those personal development books, or classes that you can take, or things that you can do to help improve those areas as a leader where you might see that you need to make some improvements. So we're going to circle this back now. Remember, the purpose of the game plan was to take action. Do you feel like you took some action today? Do you think so the actions you took today will help you get some better results? Good. That's what we wanted to accomplish with this game plan. So here, we're going to summarize now real quick. 5, we talked about making sure that you add new people to your contact list all the time. Some of you actually were able to put more than 20 people on your contact list in 5 minutes. So you have the capability to continuously be doing that in a very short amount of time. Use that memory jogger. You'll be surprised how you go back and revisit that, but you'll all of a sudden new people will come to your mind. Invite. Challenge you to learn to overcome by what? 5 and 5. Finding those 5 main objections that people say, being able to overcome it. What are some of those things? I don't have time. Didn't we just show you today that you can have time? How much 5 minutes can help you accomplish, right, in this business? That's one of the most common things that we hear. Oh, is that an MLM company? Did you ever hear that objection? Right? That's Pennington, right? We would say, yes, we are, and we're really proud of it because actually we are a proud member of the Direct Selling Association. Did you know that as a member, we are a member of, we gave that membership because we need a very strict and highly compliant integrity standard that only the DSA will give us that stamp of approval if we do that. In fact, I encourage you, just go to DSA.com or DSA.org, they'll tell you all about it. Really? Yeah. And by the way, MLM, for those of you who don't know, stands for multi-level marketing, and it applies to the compensation plan. So what I like to say to people is, yeah, we are an MLM company. Do you have an issue with that? And they'll say sometimes things like, oh yeah, aren't they kind of smart? Are they kind of sneaky? I go, well, I don't know. Let me ask you something. Is ASOS sneaky? And they go, no. I go, oh, well, they're an MLM company too. They pay on a multi-level basis, and that's really all. Oh, see how you can turn that right around with just a little bit of information? Okay? So know how to overcome those objections. Time. Money. Don't have any money? Have you heard that? I don't have the money. Well, honey, do you ever go to Starbucks? Do you go to McDonald's? Do you eat a Burger King? Right? You guys all know the drill. You know how to overcome those objections. So be prepared as a leader to do that. Here's some more. Taking action. You want to be a product of the product. You want to make sure that you can refine that story. And you got really good at that today. You want to continue to share to people every day. Remember that one thing where we say up here, the future probable, not possible contact. That's when you hand out your business card and you don't get their contact information. So you want to always be sure that they turn that into a probable. You're getting their contact information. Hold your Get Started Right interview in the first 48 hours. Make sure you understand that why, your goals, so you can create an appropriate action plan. Treat your business like a business. If you don't have your success partner, go home, get them on the phone this weekend, and make sure you guys make a commitment to do that for a year. Be an active team member. Participate in those activities that are going to help you meet your goals, which oftentimes will help grow your income, and hopefully will give you a chance to help more people. And finally, becoming a leader. So look internally at those leadership skills and what you want to do to improve. So here we go. Your greatest success in life will come 2 or 3 steps outside of your comfort zone. You guys all understand that now, right? you all went off and picked up the phone and actually called somebody today. Did you think you'd be doing that? I probably felt a little bit uncomfortable at first, but you did it. So I just encourage you to keep knowing that every time you reach out just a little bit outside that comfort zone, you're going to grow from it, you're going to see some great activity out there. And it's going to be continuous in your business. Continue to be willing to be vulnerable, continue to be open, continue to share. So, here's all the things that we started out doing today. We wanted to talk about the power of your story, the importance of leadership, understanding the why accountability is key, remembering to always give back, have a clear understanding of what people are looking for their goals, and then help them the right tools in place to help them make that decision. So, let's watch this quick video here. We've got a couple more videos, real short ones for you to watch. It's about leading your boss.